Welcome to the sustainability principle of energy. Never heard of it? Few people have. I discovered its existence only recently and I am still trying to get a handle on it. It seems to be profound, very challenging, and my first impressions are that it is a really useful tool for helping us all survive. First, here are a few ideas it is important to understand. Idea: the sustainability principle is fundamentally simple and many people have little trouble understanding its essence when it is explained. You could well be one of those people. You don't have to be a clever person. Indeed, I find some people with fancy university degrees have the greatest difficulty comprehending it. Hold this idea: your spirit matters far more than your intellect. Idea: the conservation principle of energy. You know it, you probably learned to say it rote at school. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, though it can change its form. Chances are your teachers did not unpack all the wisdom in this symbol of existence. It's actually a great guide to reality and has some marvellous messages for us. One is that energy is as boundless as the universe is, and so boundless it can be considered a constant. Hang on to and be this thought. Think energy, feel bounty. Another marvellous message: energy continually transforms. It is manifest in myriad forms, and these are all subject to constant change. The forms emerge from each other and disappear into each other. Hang on to this thought. Think energy. Think and be continual universal change. So how come these great and wise insights were not set aglow in your soul, lighting your years with vitality? Perhaps you were not listening. Perhaps your teacher did not have in their heart to tell you. Why not? The most common reason is that we all have a tendency to deny change and stewardship. Put simply, most of us are attached to living, and part of us finds it difficult to accept that we are mortal like all other forms and die. Our form rises and it passes. We erect incredibly sophisticated rationales denying this reality, this truth. Similarly, we have difficulty accepting that other forms are finite, especially those we find very useful. For instance, look how we kid ourselves that mineral oil is energy. We even call it energy. We use it as though it is as boundless as energy, and we will soon become shocked and angry when suddenly the resource is gone. Hang on to this thought. Humans have a great capacity to deny change and stewardship. That is for self-deceit. Idea: the uncertainty principle of energy. This one will really stretch you. It is eye-popping, mind-boggling, spirit-expanding. It's, well, just relax. Just know that the uncertainty principle holds as surely as your transistor radio, TV, CD player, and all the nuclear devices of our planet work. And what's the big deal? The uncertainty principle suggests, for instance, that we cannot simultaneously measure with great accuracy both of certain pairs of physical properties, such as the position and velocity of a microscopic particle. The more we observe one property, the less we can observe its pair property. And the very act of observing and measuring something alters it, transforms it in some way we cannot be certain about, and all the objects in the universe are entangled in such a way that our observation of an atom simultaneously transforms another atom somewhere else in the universe. In other words, in reflecting the universe, we are participants in it. Hold this thought. We are all in this together and are stewards of our actions, whether we like it or not. Idea: all information is physical. Early last century, Ernest Rutherford rediscovered what many had believed was solid matter is relatively empty space. If the diameter of an atom were the length of New Zealand, 1,000 miles, its nucleus would be the size of your fists. Our atoms are really just vibrations. We are now rediscovering the converse. What we thought was non-matter, such as thoughts, emotions, metaphors, symbols, etc., are always manifest in some material form. The symbols I use to communicate to you are as physical as the electrochemical reactions in the synapses of our brains and any of the electrons in our computers. Hold this thought. We are stewards equally of bullets, bricks, bouquets, ideas and symbols. Idea: symbols enable life. All sentient beings use symbols to survive and procreate. Every living cell uses them to communicate, and without symbols there is no civilization. Symbols are paradoxical. A sustainable symbol is always changing, even as its central message is unchanged. No two smiles are the same, and yet a smile remains associated with happiness. The power of symbols is such that our use of them reflects the nature of our most primal being to our cellular level, even as the symbols resonate to transform us at every level. Hence our need to be mindful in our use of symbols that we can serve their fullest potential, especially our prime symbols like energy, power, love, life, etc. Hold this thought. Our use of symbols can make and break us. Idea. We are mirror beings. The 50 to 100 billion neurons in our brain are spliced with an incredibly intricate mirror neuron system for reflecting the universes. It is probable that this system interfaces with all our cognitive functions and plays a powerful role in the drivers of the behavior of the multi-trillions of cells we are each composed of. And our brain seems to have developed so we have a predisposition to reflecting the activities around us, especially those of our own species. Here is a fascinating video introducing this subject.
Never been found on a cellular level before. A set of brain cells found on either side of the head. Among all the billions of long branching cells in our brain, these so-called mirror neurons have surprising power. More intriguingly, that for this neuron, watching somebody do something is just like doing it yourself. The
mirror neurons, he believes, can send messages to the limbic or emotional system in our brains.
I suggest we are exquisitely tuned to detect and reflect the dissonance and harmony in others, which is why our deeds speak far louder than our words. Hold this thought. Our essence is revealed in the spirit of our deeds. We all dance between acceptance and denial of change and stewardship. We have a grand capacity to reflect and enjoy harmony with reality, which is change, the continual universal transformation. Our minds can embrace immense possibilities, enjoy awe and vitality on scale, and be of generous spirit. We each also have an equally fantastic capacity to deny reality, and thus generate sensations of great deprivation, futility, and loss of meaning, and be of the most mean, miserable spirit. In other videos in this series, I illustrate how this latter destructive state prevails in our Anglo-American culture and is endemic in our schools, media, corporations, and government. Our biggest threat seems to be our capacity to create incredibly sophisticated rationales of denial of self-deceit. We need a tool, a mechanism, a guide that allows us to transcend our egos and to communicate with science. Idea. Sustainability principle of energy. This may be just the tool we require. All the above ideas are integrated in this statement. The essential and ancient message is, the more we accept change, the greater the harmony we know. The more we deny change, the greater the misery we know. The sustainability principle can act as a guide, a predictor, and a psychoanalyzer. It is a guide because it indicates which symbol uses tend to put us at lesser or greater risk, or if you like, destroy or enhance the state of science in our society. It is a predictor because it enables us to evaluate a symbol use and predict whether the individual or group employing a certain use of a symbol will tend to generate harmony or dissonance. It enables us to psychoanalyze individuals and societies for their levels of sanity, in particular for evidence of psychosis and psychopathy. It reveals how in touch we are with reality, which of course is the universal change, and how much we embrace our roles as stewards of our actions. The principle is an eminently practical tool, as I show on my website. I look at a score of the prime symbols we use to communicate the nature of energy generally, and of our planetary systems in particular. The principle reveals that our popular uses of these symbols are extremely unsustainable. It indicates we are asking for huge trouble. It is a very wonderful tool if used with compassion. It shows how we can use these symbols in ways that work to generate peace, prosperity, and awe. Even a child of 10 can learn to use it, to identify and question the denial in their teachers, media, and politicians and other elders. Even a child of 10 can use it to generate the possibilities of a rich, vital, and sustainable existence for human beings the world over. Such is the power of the sustainability principle of energy. Be mindful to use it with compassion, for when we enjoy that state of being, we experience greater science, and this in turn enables the arts, languages, and civics, and all that we know as civilization to flourish. Everyone, I thank you.